Greetings, and welcome to day 2. And you have made it on board, and you have already experienced day 1 of this free masterclass. My name is Terry Messenger, and I am a master world-class trainer and coach. And my specialty is releasing trauma and stress so that you can have epic success. I'm also a very firm believer that your life and everything about you is a God-given plan. It's like a map, and it's a map to your final destination of where you are going to be, even when you are 90, 95 years old, or even older. Now, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to picture that you are actually 95 years old. Now, you are not going to be as fit, you are not going to be as healthy, and you probably won't have the same opportunities as you do today if you were a 95-year-old person. But I want you to consider what the wise 95-year-old version of you would say to the you now, the you of today, with your fitness, with your energy. Now, the fact is that you may have been held back in your life, and we all get held back. However, the fact is that you're here because you want epic success. You want to be able to be set free. So the 95-year-old, that wise version of you, may have a lot of wisdom to give to you, to tell you the things in life that you just go out and you do. You be fierce, you be bold, you be energized, and you be empowered. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to come back to where you are and deeply ground yourself while I do a recap on yesterday. And I want to welcome you and congratulate you, because the universe sees you. The universe knows that you are on a journey. And the fact that you are on a journey, this specific chapter of this class is possibly one of the most important and vital sequences that I have ever known in 14 years of clinic, because this is what everybody experiences. It's relationships. And your whole life is made up of relationships. And in fact, all your hurts and all your pain and all your wounds come from relationships and what you've thought, what you've believed, and what you have developed over the years. So bring me the energy and say hello and let me know where you are calling in from, and let's get this show on the road. So yesterday we recapped and we talked about your pain being your gain, your story becoming your glory. We talked about extrapolating your life and looking at it as all the gold nuggets, all the parts of your life, all of the elements that are good, bad, happy, and sad. And then what we're doing is we're weaving everything together so that we can tap inside your genius zone. So your trauma can be converted into your gold. Now, at the end of this session, we are going to have this very magical mantra where we're going to go through a dissolving exercise. But my question to you is, are you prepared to give access, to be set free, to release any wounded relationships that you may have had from the past? And are you willing to give yourself access to really become the absolute highest power version of yourself? And if the answer is a big fat yes, then you're going to definitely want to stay to the very end. So you have a workbook, and in your workbook, you would have gone through some questions. Now, in actual fact, what you will find is that the very essence, because day one may seem a little confusing, and if you have been a little bit confused by the questions, it's because the very essence of what you want is actually linked in to the void of what you perceive that you don't have. So I'm going to say that again. So the value system of what you believe that you want is linked in to what you perceive that you do not have. And this is where missions come from. So when I'm driving coaches, when I'm driving leaders, when I'm driving business people to be the greatest version they can possibly be, when they understand that they have a mission inside them, it's what you stand for. And the mission is what you see as what was an injustice when you were younger. So all of this is going to do a full circle, and you're going to be able to, like a jigsaw puzzle, piece together like the piece of your life. You'll be able to put everything together and recognize that your life is a beautifully architecturally designed piece of artwork. And so if I told you that that book of your life could be handed to you, and that you could go back to a time and a space where there is no meaning, life is empty and meaningless and has no meaning. So there's no judgments, there's no experiences. It's just love, peace, and joy. Imagine that you've never had. Just go into your imagination for one moment and imagine that you've not had any experiences whatsoever other than pure love. Imagine if your whole life was just pure love, pure joy, and that joy and that love gave you the peace, gave you the faith, and gave you the boldness and the ability to step out and achieve anything you wanted. Who would you become? So what if I told you, so this is where the jigsaw puzzle starts to fall into place, that the things you perceive that may not have existed in your life are the things that are relative to what you want today. So for example, I'm going to talk relatively about myself and my own journey. So I know that my highest value is my mission and my work in what I do and the love that I have for my family. But my number one value is actually importance. Now, what makes me have that instilled mission for importance? It's because in my childhood, there were moments of time when I didn't perceive that I was important, where I felt less than really what I deserved. And so you'll find if there were moments like if I am consulting with people and they don't have that certainty or they didn't have certainty, their value system is going to be very much around anything that will establish that confidence and certainty. If you perceive that you didn't have love or connection, then you're going to really have a high value on it. But here is the oxymoron of the whole situation. Whatever you actually want and you really want to achieve, quite often you perceive that it's not there. And that perception can cause it not to be there until a healing is taken place. And this is where the healing work that I do, what it does is it heals, it sets you free, and it releases you to be everything that you want. But I want you to just move into your power position for a moment. Get yourself really deeply grounded. Let me know how you're feeling right now. And I'm going to ask you to step inside the feeling of freedom. Now, let's imagine that the session has already taken place. You have already gone through and you've dissolved and you've cleared and you have transmuted all of the pain and the wounds from past relationships, and you have converted it into freedom, into limitless energy, into looking and feeling great, where your frequency is high. What does your life look like when you dissolve, clear, and transmute the old energy of any of those relationships? Because any relationships that are still bothering you from the past, and that's where triggers come up, that's where you become affected. It's like the hare that broke the camel's back and you just suddenly move into fight flight. That is because there is something in your nervous system that is in there and it needs to be released. Now just let that land. So what would it be like for you to release that now? Now, you will also find that if you look at the patterns of negative relationships that you've had in your life, right, you'll find that there's a pattern. There is this trace that you can go back. Like some people find themselves always attracting the wrong partners, or they may find themselves attracting the wrong friends, or you may find yourself attracting a certain kind of person. And what it is that these people that you're attracting, it's a vibration because of something that has happened in your younger life. And it's actually an unhealed, it is an unhealed wound that needs to be completely set free. So what I'd like to do now is I would like to put to you that everybody has 3 significant emotional events that have happened in their life. Now, I touched on this yesterday, but in the work that I do, it's like a domino effect. So if you knock down 3 events, now you might say, well, Terry, I've got 33, or I've got 3,033. The fact is, we only need 3 events that you need to actually deal with, okay? Because once you deal with those 3 events, you will release, like a domino, all of the other patterns. Now, make sure you have your workbook, and I'm going to make sure that that workbook is in the comments, because the workbook will also help you through these questions. So in my life, for example, I can go back and I can tell you that I had a situation where I was a small child. And when I was a small child, I was bullied. And that was a really quite a critical thing that happened to me in my life, because it happened through a family member. It happened through a cousin that was a lot older than me. And it left me in a position where I felt so worthless and so unimportant. Now, that is obviously something that is then trapped in the nervous system. So what happens is, until it is released, we keep on attracting it into our lives. So the other element was, as a teenager, I had another incident where I had a situation that happened to me that left me feeling so worthless, so unimportant, so disconnected. So this was, in those times of my life when I was developing and creating my belief system of the world. So that was my second. So really, in both of those, I lacked importance. So some people, it might be that you lacked love or you lacked connection. For other people, it may be that you lacked certainty. So as I go along, I looked at the most recent time. Now, recent doesn't need to be yesterday or even last year. So my recent significant emotional event was actually when I was at the age of 39. And that's when everything in my life was collapsing. And that's where I lost so many friends. It's where my marriage broke down. It's where I was in a world of depression and anxiety. And again, what was the theme? Interesting. It was feeling unimportant. So everyone has these kind of events, and some are, greater, worse, or whatever than others. But to your nervous system, it is all the same. So it's not about the story that is going to become your glory. It's about the energy that we want to be able to cast out, and we want to be able to set you free. So, as I said, your highest value is what you perceive is lacking in your life. So, the spiritual needs, so you've got human needs, and the human needs, as I said, love and connection, importance and significance, and then certainty and confidence. Can you see, forgetting the story and the events, can you see which one of those three was perhaps really lacking? Like, do you feel that you lacked, if anything, love and connection throughout your life in those significant emotional events? Or perhaps it was importance and not feeling important and worthy? Or perhaps it was certainty and confidence and just not having any of that feeling of security. Once you can really understand what human need was really deprived from you as number one, that's when you can start the process of healing. That's when we can go back, we can recode, we can re-imprint, we can redevelop, we can realign, reset, and rebirth you so that you can imprint the love, the connection, the deep feelings that you needed of importance, confidence, certainty, whatever that is. Now, as you go through the healing process, what you're going to discover is that all of your wounds are the gold. They are the gold that is going to be translated into your rock solid foundation to build your empire. It's going to be your bold strength. It's going to be your courage. It's going to be your ability to rise up and claim your power. And if you so happen to be in an industry where you are helping people, that is going to make it even more powerful, because you can become an authentic messenger, like myself, an authentic messenger. No pun intended, you guys. So forgiveness of the wounds of those who hurt you is going to play one of the biggest and most vital elements. Now, I'm not telling you like some training schools do when you go to different places. They will say that you need to go to that person. You need to, tell them that you forgive them. You need to make that phone call. I'm not actually doing that. That is not what I am doing at all, because it's not them that needs to be let off the hook, you guys. It's you. You need to be liberated. Now, if you want to be liberated and you want to be set free and you want to climb up so that you can claim your power, and understand, even from your workbook, that you can now define what your, epic purpose is through what you want to feel. Do you want to feel a sense of love and connection? What is it that really appeals to you? Feel this right now as I say the words love and connection, and imagine feeling that love and connection. Or is it importance, like being lifted up and feeling highly, important and significant? Just feel into that. Or would you rather have this rock solid certainty, this rock solid confidence? Write it down in the comments if you can be so brave to tell me, if you could choose one, would it be love? Would it be importance? Or would it be confidence? So now I'm going to persuade you to be persuaded, to release and let go of every single person that's ever hurt you. You don't have to think about them. I'm not going to ask you to try and think of all the people, because there will be more than one. You know you've attracted more than one. I've been working with people for years and years and years. When you let go of the captain, though, the driver of the bus that is triggering the hell out of you, that is creating a lot of the decisions that you're making in your life, and when you put that bus driver in the passenger seat, or even better, throw them off the bus, stop the bus and let them out and say, thank you, goodbye, which we will be doing in a very short while. We're going to do a letting go exercise. You need to get on the bus, you need to sit on the seat, and you need to take control, because this is where you're going to become a master of your destiny, not a victim of your history. So I'm a success coach, and because my highest value is importance and significance, that is attached with success, and really, being able to just fast track and help people at the speed of light. And I do this by helping them to release their past wounds, to cut the soul ties of those who are holding you hostage. Now, look at it this way. I have a lot of people that say, Terry, I'm not going to forgive that person. They do not deserve my forgiveness. And they have so much bitterness and so much anger towards them. It's almost like they're indignant and they refuse. But then when I point out to them, it's not about letting them go. It's about letting you go. It's about setting yourself free. It's about you being able to rise up and claim your power. It's about you being able to help the world and become a light. And because of what you've overcome, it's like you become a superhero, because, every superhero needs to conquer something, right? So this is where I want you to conquer your victory. I want you to own your power. And I have modalities that will take you through and give you the mastery to be able to do this. And even if you're not a healer or a light worker or a coach or a business owner, teachers, when they can speak into the lives of children and they learn how to speak, suddenly the children learn in a whole different way. If children were given love and connection every single day, and they were clothed in love and connection, and what you said to them and what you were told as a child, just go out today and make sure you have a dose of love and connection, a dose of feeling important. Do something that makes you feel so important, and do something that makes you feel confident and creates that rock solid feeling. Then we would have a very different world. And when you can be given the master key to be able to help other people unlock, that is a gift that you cannot put a price on, because it's a gift that you can help your family, your children. It's a gift that you can take control and drive your own bus for the rest of your life. But I've got to smash this out, guys, because we've only got so much time. So do I have your permission? And I want you to say yes, whether you're live or on the replay. Do I have your permission to help you be set free? Now, if that's a yes, please put that down in the comments, and I will allow you to go through this formula. Okay, so some people that you think are not worth forgiving, I want you to think of this. If you were to drink poison, could you expect the other person to be affected or even die from that or even be poisoned? Who would be poisoned, you or the other person? This is something that can be very, very triggering, but the only person that's going to get poisoned if you drink poison is you. And that is why I am saying you completely deserve to be set free. You completely deserve to be able to release your wounds so that you can be free. I mean, I know that I have sent coaches out today to do live streams, to go out and do live streams, which for some people that is extremely brave. You know, I know that there's people that rise up, they make decisions. Women take their power. Men, they claim who they are. And this really puts you into that outstanding. This is the work for people who want outstanding performance. This is the work for people that want to go the extra mile, that want to be the superhuman, that want to step into their power, who are brave, who are big enough, brave enough, fierce enough, and totally wise enough to let go of the past and actually claim your destiny right now. And if that's something that you would like to do, I would love you to put that down in the comments. So imagine your confidence, your relationships, your success in what you desire. You could go back to the beginning of time and start again. What if I told you that, you know, I have this modality, and this modality is going to actually give you the ability to go back to a space of time, even before the ancestral lineage before you, and to go back into the light, to go back where you can experience love and peace. And what if I told you that actually releasing trauma, getting rid of, you know, the pain of wounded relationships from the past is actually the easiest part of my job? And I have modalities that I give coaches for this that will clear trauma at the speed of light. That's the easy part. I want to tell you guys what the part where it takes more time. Because doing that, I can do it at the speed of light. I'm going to show you with a small exercise that I'm going to do that is safe for me to do here on the internet, even without you even needing to know anything about what you need to do. I can do this just to show you and give you a small snippet. So stay to the end and I'm going to demonstrate that. But in the meantime, I want you to know that this system that I'm giving coaches, it's easy, fast, and it moves people so rapidly that it puts you into a position of mastery. It gives you the mastery to be an outstanding coach. And here is the truth. And this is all correlating from yesterday and in day one, and what I'm talking about with your God-given purpose. There is only one you. There will never be any competition. There will never be any competition because you have this authentic life. And the way that I produce the system that I teach, because I look for the gap in the system. I found the gap in the system for people that were suffering chronic depression and anxiety. That's easy. People here watching this broadcast can vouch for that. For me, that's a walk in the park, and I want to impart that to you, okay? But the gap in the system was getting people to own their power and build the empire and become an outstanding, successful person in your own right. And when I say in your own right, I mean there will never be anyone with the same fingerprint as you. There is only one you. And this work that I do, it is not for people who want to be average. It's not for the mediocre, nor is it for people that just want to duplicate and copycat other people and get lost and overwhelmed and stuck in what seem and what are sometimes very good blueprints and templates to create a great business. What I'm giving to you is your blueprint. It's like I'm handing you a map and I'm saying, imagine me saying your name. I'll know that you're here. I'll know who you are. I'm giving you this map. This is your blueprint. There's only one you. And now I'm going to give you a system, and that system is going to allow you to build your tower, your empire. So I'm giving you the plan. I'm giving you your blueprint. We've discovered your gold nuggets. We've healed your past. Now it's time for you to add all the fun and all the excitement. And being epically successful does take time. It does take the staying power, the consistency, and the willingness to do it and be it. But the way that I teach you is so much fun, so much fun. So are you ready to reset and realign and really birth yourself again with a small modality that I'm just going to show you so that you can really get a taste of what this is all about? So firstly, what I'd like you to know is that anybody in your life that has ever hurt you, they couldn't give you what they didn't have in the first place. And this is one of the most epic perception changes when I teach you how to go back to that person who wounded you when they were a child. Because they may not have had one of those three things in particular. So if they weren't given that, how can they give that to you? Hurting people hurt people. I'm going to say that again. Hurting people hurt people. So we are going to really allow you the opportunity right now to release, because guys, I want to say that some of the greatest leaders and some of the most epic influencers, and I've run the Think and Grow Rich program. I have run the Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill, and I can tell you the stories in that book that's like a Bible. And one of the stories is 3 Feet from Gold, about a man who wanted epic success, who was a great leader and influencer, and he was gold digging, but he gave up. He gave up and he sold that machine to a junk man, a man who barely had 2 cents and probably 2 pennies back in them days to actually rub together. But that junk man brought in a mastermind team, and they realized and recognized that the person that had epic success was probably onto a good thing. So they didn't go to a different location like you think, you know, the obvious thing is. Sometimes everything is right under your feet. Sometimes everything you need is right within you. And this is what happened. That junk man went to exactly the same place as that rich leader that was highly successful was in, and found gold that turned him into a millionaire 3 feet deeper than where the seller was. So could you be 3 foot from your own gold? The greatest success for many leaders comes after defeat. Guys, this is where I persuade you to be persuaded, to let all the confusion go. Let all the past and all the people that hurt you be released, because all that's doing is damaging your soul. It's damaging your cells. It's causing you the pain even in your body. And when you release it, when you can set yourself free, that's when you can rise up and claim your power. So if you're hearing me, you guys, let me know as we now move to the finishing line. So let's stop looking for shiny objects out there in the world. You are not needing more tactics of how to be successful, how to be a better parent, how to be a better lover, how to do this and how to do that. Everything starts with you. Everything, absolutely everything. So as you reach inside, and I thank you for your comments, as you reach inside yourself and you allow the overwhelm, all the stuckness, all the limiting beliefs that you had, didn't you, to just fade away and dissolve. I'm going to ask you to stand sovereign, stand in your glory. I'm going to ask you to place your hands on your stomach, because this is your gut brain. And your gut brain, guys, is the evidence that what I'm telling you is right. All the fear, all of the thinking, all of the overwhelm and crap was in your head. That's all. Just a story. I want you to imagine that that story is coming out right now, and I have modalities that can release it. I have modalities, and I'll be actually holding something that is going to show you a mastery modality to release every negative, significant event that you have had, and you can choose one. Choose one to release the trauma and watch everything improve in your life. I'm not saying life will be perfect, because that's not possible, but it's about taking control. So as you place your hands on your stomach, I want you to take a deep breath of life in. And as you breathe in, I want you to breathe out through your mouth. So what we're doing is we're connecting now in with your gut brain. And I'm going to get you to take a deep breath in again through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Just connecting in. So now you are tapping in. And as you feel your stomach, just tap into your gut, your instinct. And this is where you have your most highest power. This is your intuition. This is your sovereign energy. I want you to take another deep breath in through the nose. And breathe out through your mouth. And I want you to bring up in front of you an image of a person from your past, one of the first earliest memories of someone who ever hurt you. And I want you to just see that person in front of you. And what I want you to do as you hold your stomach and you tap into your gut, I want you to see this person shrinking and diminishing into a small child. So what you're doing is you're making that image of that person become a little child who is innocent. I want you to look down on this person who wounded you. And I want you to know that they are also the representative of the captain of the team of every person that wounded you, every pattern that was attached. This person is representing. So by forgiving this one person, you're going to release and dissolve and let go. And as you release and dissolve and let go, do I have your permission to give you access to being set free? And if so, put it in the comments, put it in your mind, and now let's begin the process. This is going to be very fast. So as you see this person shrinking down, I want you to imagine that they are now turning into just a little baby, and they're an innocent little baby. And as you see them as an innocent baby, I want you to begin to imagine you're watching their life, and you can see from what they did to hurt you that they were void of one of the three major things: love, connection; importance, significance; certainty, confidence. And as you tap into that, I want you to know, and I want you to understand, and I want you to imagine that you are going to allow that little child, that innocent little child, to be given everything that it needs to be able to reinstate what they did and how they did it. Now I want you to see a boat, and I want you to imagine there is this beautiful, beautiful ocean, and you are standing on a jetty, and you are standing in your glory, and you are about to rise in your power. You are about to claim your sovereign power and freedom and peace and joy. I want you to see the mother carrying the child that wounded you. And I want you to see her walking off the jetty and stepping into the boat. Now, I want you to imagine that there is a rope that is tied to the jetty. And all of a sudden, that boat is filled with people. And these are all the people that have hurt you, wounded you, had an impact on you, from teachers through to relatives, to friends, to lovers, to all those people. And I want you now to just understand that you're higher conscious because you're relying on your gut brain. So as you still hold that space, just take a deep breath. And I want you to now just claim your power to access your freedom. And I want you to imagine you are now unleashing the rope from the jetty. And as you untie it, as you cut that tie, all the soul ties and everything that was connected between you and every person in that boat that represented your triggers, your feelings of sadness, unworthiness, has suddenly been cut. And now the boat is moving off into the distance. And as it moves off, you wave goodbye. And the boat moves out, and as it waves goodbye, I want you now to say this mantra with me. If you give permission, I would like you to say, I decree to dissolve, to clear, and to release the pain from this story. And I now claim my glory. I decree to dissolve, to clear, and release every person now. I command in love. I command in connection. I command in importance, significance, and the peace that surpasses all understanding. Say after me, I am free. I am free. I am free. Thank you that I am free, and you are free. And notice now the boat has disappeared, and it's gone so far out. And because you've let go, because you've released it, in under 5 minutes, you've let that go. And as it disappears into the sunset, I want you to just have your hand from your stomach and place it on your heart and say, I command in love. I command in importance. I command in certainty. And now I want you to come back to where you are and place your other hand over your heart. And I want you to see yourself, because tomorrow we're going to be tapping into your $1 billion gift. Tomorrow we're going to bring this together so that as you release and you set free, you can now imagine yourself in your $1 billion gift. And I want you to ensure that as you come back to the now, and as you come back with this great freedom and liberation of having set yourself free. It's not about letting anybody else off the hook. Now the karma has been given to them. Now you will attract new relationships. Now you will attract new opportunities. Now, if you are in my program or you're coming onto my program, you can go into a mastery where you can now unplug, unleash, and extrapolate every powerful gift from your soul and offer it to the world as your mastery. My name is Terry Messenger. Thank you for your time. Thank you for holding space. Please drop down in the comments anything that you specifically drew from this and any ideas of what you would love to learn in our next coming 2 sessions. So we are going to hit the road running. Tomorrow, let's tap into your $1 billion gift. And I certainly, absolutely look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.